So the PlayStation exclusive beta for Call of Duty Vanguard is now over, and the next one begins in a few days for early access for PC and Xbox. And I just wanted to let you know my impressions throughout the weekend when I played the beta, and also talk a little bit about the skill-based matchmaking that is very much present in the beta, and I believe it's going to be present in the next weekend of beta and also in the full game, of course. But firstly, I want to say that I am excited for the next weekend of beta because that is going to be, since Thursday the 16th, early access for PC and Xbox. And since my main platform is PC, I am finally going to be able to enjoy the game the most I can. And I'm not saying this just because I'm going to be able to use mouse and keyboard. I was able to do that on PlayStation. I don't mind playing on controller, but this ties into the main issue that I had during this PlayStation exclusive beta, and that is the performance. Now, I have a PS4 Pro, and I'm saying this because it is or should be still a pretty powerful console, and to be honest, the performance on the PS4 Pro as of this beta is tragic. 80% of the time it dipped below 30 FPS. It was very, very chaotic. It was laggy. It was stuttery, and just the performance was terrible. And that is the worst thing that I experienced. That ruined the whole beta experience for me because it was just bad. I mean, going from 144 Hz monitor down to 60 Hz monitor, 60 Hz and 60 FPS on a console is one thing, but just barely hitting 30 FPS on a Call of Duty game, that is just another level of unenjoyable. I know at this point I'm kind of shitting on the game, but I also know that that is what beta is for. They are collecting data on performance, they are collecting data on server load, they're also collecting, of course, data for weapon balancing and basically everything that they can, and that's what beta is for, and that's why they want our feedback. And the thing I didn't like the most about it was the performance on the PS4 Pro. And on the PS4 or the OG PS4, the performance is probably even worse. So yeah, my main issue with the game currently, with the beta version of the game, is just the performance. Now, I am not one to hate on something, I'm not one to trash talk about a game or just to bring out the worst out of a game. I'm just saying I really didn't enjoy the beta experience as much as I thought I would because of the performance issues, but I still enjoyed it. Don't get me wrong, I still enjoyed the beta. I still played since Friday till Monday, and I pretty much hit level 30. I maxed out 2 weapons. I think it was the Garand and the MP40, which is probably going to be my favorite SMG, and the Garand probably going to be my favorite marksman rifle. It was a 2-hit kill at any distance if you kitted it correctly, so damn, it was really good, the Garand. But yeah, the performance is the worst thing. Sound system, I tried to take it with a little bit of a bigger grain of salt because they already stated that they are going to be even more improving the sound, and we should see these sound changes in this next weekend. So from the 16th up till 20th, we will see audio tuning and making sure weapons sound correctly when fired from third person, because if someone was near you and was firing like right next to you, the sound was very muffled and you couldn't even tell that the person who was firing was like 1 or 2 meters next to you and maybe sounded like he was 100 meters away. So that was a very weird experience with the sound, and I'm glad that that is going to be changing this next weekend. So in a few days, it's actually like 2 days that the early access beta for Xbox and PC finally drops. So I'm really excited for this change. Also, the spawns, they were very weird. They already said that they are deploying a fix for the spawns on patrol on the Hotel Royal map, but that was a big issue in the patrol mode especially, But even without the patrol mode, even on like team deathmatch or any other mode, I think the spawns were kind of wonky. There was a lot of moments where I just spawned behind an enemy or an enemy spawned behind me, and just especially the Halter Royal map. I found that map to be the most confusing because it is also the smallest map, but also kind of a little bit vertical because of the rooftops and because of the inside of the hotel. But overall, the map looks really nice. It's just my problem with it is just enemies were spawning behind me too often, more often than I would want to. So I would have to constantly be watching my back because at any time someone just came up from behind me and killed me. And the footstep audio in this game is very quiet, so I had to rely on the minimap, and they were not always showing on the minimap, even though I was using the radar perk. But if they weren't firing a weapon without subsonic ammo, well, then I wouldn't be able to see them on a minimap even. So yeah, the spawns are pretty weird still, so I hope they're going to change them to an even better state. On launch, of course, they're going to be perfected, so they are not wonky anymore, but I hope they're going to change them even in the beta for the next weekend, and not just on the patrol mode. Other than that, the weapons felt great, the XP rate was pretty fine, it was pretty fast, it wasn't slow as Cold War is, and it's overall I enjoyed the beta. The biggest issue I had, as I already mentioned, was the performance, and I'm looking forward to playing it on PC because the performance is going to be hopefully a lot better. And that brings me to the topic of skill-based matchmaking that I already mentioned at the beginning of the video, because there is skill-based matchmaking, and then we already knew that, we already had leaks about it, and it's going to be the same system that was implemented in Black Ops Cold War, so it is coming back, it is here this year around as well, and I don't think there's anything we can do about it. I mean, I was hopeful that all of these other game developers were just transparent about the skill-based matchmaking and they wanted to make it looser. I was really hopeful that Call of Duty would take these steps as well. Turns out they didn't, and we are going to probably see skill-based matchmaking at launch, which is not great, it's not ideal, but at this point, I guess we just need to accept it and just accept that Activision is trying to appeal to the masses, appeal to the massive amount of casual players that are going to be the majority of the player base, and they just want to make them feel at home, or want to make them feel better about playing the game, and want to keep them playing the game. So yeah, I think we just need to accept it at this point. I don't want to really complain about it. It's not great, it's not ideal as I mentioned, but it's something that is in the beta, that's something that is going to be there at launch, and we can't really do anything about it, I guess. We can only complain, maybe that will do something finally, but I'm just, at this point, I'm just accepting it. I guess getting a nuke or a V2 rocket in this game against players who are similar skilled to yours is going to be more satisfying and going to say a lot more about you being a good player, I would say. And that's pretty much all I wanted to talk about in this video. There's also many other problems that other content creators already talked about, like some weapons have really slow sprint to fire speed. Exclusive A's made a video describing or talking about the sprint to fire speeds, like a separate video, so you can go check that out. But yeah, there's problems, of course, it's the beta, and Sledgehammer Games really want our feedback. So I was also giving some feedback on my Twitter. Be sure to follow it, it's down in the description. And well, that's basically it. That's all I wanted to talk about. So hopefully you enjoyed the video, hopefully you enjoyed the beta if you played it. And I'm really going to be looking forward to the next weekend when I can actually enjoy it on PC on high FPS and high refresh rate. So have a great day, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe, and see you in the next video. See ya.